You know that feeling, right? Payday hits, your bank account is looking good for what, maybe 5 minutes, and then poof! You check it a week later and you're just staring at it, wondering where did it all go? It's a super frustrating cycle. But what if I told you there's a name for that roller coaster and, more importantly, a way to get off of it? Okay, let's dive in.
Well, there's a name for this feeling. It's called the precarious state. It's that constant, nagging feeling of instability, where your money is always moving, but not always in the direction you want it to. And look, it's really common, especially for young adults, who are just trying to get their financial feet under them. And this quote from our source material just nails it, doesn't it? Money coming in fast and going out just as quickly. If that just made you nod your head, then you're in exactly the right place. Because today, we're going to figure out exactly why this happens and what you can actually do about it.
So first things first, let's really get a handle on the problem itself. We have to properly define this precarious state before we can even think about fixing it.
So what does this actually feel like? Well, it's not just some vague anxiety. It's defined by these crazy ups and downs, that magic trick where your money just seems to vanish into thin air, and this constant feeling that you're just one small surprise away from a disaster. Sound familiar at all?
Okay, now that we understand the problem, let's move on to the diagnosis. We've got to find the root cause of that precarious feeling, and we're going to call it the caution leak.
I want you to think of this caution sign like the check engine light in your car. It's not there to make you panic. It's just a warning light on your financial dashboard. It's telling you, hey, there's a leak somewhere in the system. Your job isn't to freak out. It's just to pop the hood and find the source. And it all boils down to this one simple, non-negotiable rule. This is the ultimate red line in your finances. Are you spending more than you're making? It is a simple yes or no question. But answering it honestly, that's the absolute first step toward plugging any leak.
And this is where the leak usually springs from. The source material tells us to be careful not to overspend on wants instead of needs. Your needs, that's your rent, your groceries, your utilities, the must-haves. Wants are the daily lattes, the new phone, the impulse buys on Amazon. When you start confusing the two, that's how a slow drip turns into a major financial bleed.
Okay, so we know the problem. We've diagnosed the cause. But why does this matter so much? Let's talk about the real-world impact and the very real risk of the unexpected.
See, when you've got a constant leak, your financial ship just sits lower in the water, and that makes you incredibly vulnerable when a storm hits. That storm has a name, the unexpected. A sudden car repair, a surprise medical bill, these are the kinds of crises that can absolutely sink you if you're already taking on water. And this right here is a really key distinction. A financial crisis might be totally out of your control, but your outcome is not. The source material is clear. You can try to prepare for the unexpected before it happens. Preparation, that's your life raft. So let me ask you this, and be really honest with yourself. If your car broke down tomorrow and the repair was $500, could you cover it without going into debt or having a full-on panic attack? Your answer to that question reveals everything about how prepared you really are.
All right, enough with the doom and gloom. We've defined the problem, we've located the leak, and we understand the risks. Now for the good part. The solution. Let's talk about the planner's path.
This right here is the antidote to all that chaos. Becoming a planner isn't about creating some rigid, boring budget that makes you miserable. It's about empowerment. It's about taking back control from that precarious feeling and becoming the architect of your own financial life.
So the very first thing a planner does is take financial inventory and see what needs changing. And notice that language. It's not about judgment, it's about observation. You're just gathering data, like a detective trying to solve the mystery of the disappearing money. And look, this whole inventory thing, we can break it down into 3 dead simple steps. 1, figure out exactly what's coming in. 2, track everything that's going out for a month, every single dollar. 3, compare the 2 lists. I promise you the leaks, the places where your wants are overpowering your needs, they'll become glaringly obvious. Ultimately, this whole process is about becoming a student. Not of some boring textbook, but a student of your own success. Just like this card says, you have to teach yourself to succeed with money. It's a skill, not some secret password, and it is 100% learnable. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one final thought. Now that you have the tools to actually find the leaks in your finances, the question isn't if you can fix them. The question is, where are you going to start? What's the first leak you are going to plug?